everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. My guest, I really don't think she needs an introduction. If you ever watched Channel 6, if you live in the Tampa area, she was on there too. She's a broadcast journalist. She is full of fun. She has so much creativity, and she's my friend as well. Secily Wilson, thank you so much for being on with us tonight. One take. We're just waiting for you, my love.
Yay. I love it. Congratulations to your new venture. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. So doing your own thing in your own way. Love it.
Yeah. You know how it is. In this business that we're in, things can change like a drop of a dime.
Like that.
And that's really what we're going to be talking about tonight. When things that you find in your life change at the drop. It could be COVID. It could be a divorce. It could be sickness. It could be loss of job. It could be anything. You have to be resilient. Now, as a woman, we're in charge of so much. And I wanted to hit on your wow legacy factor first. That foundation is something else. I remember when you first told me about it and we did our interview and I met some of the women whose lives you changed. Let's talk about that and why you've done it for so many years.
Yeah, we are now in our 8th year of WOW Legacy Group, and WOW is an acronym for Women Overcoming with Willpower, because that's exactly what it takes. Willpower for us to overcome any life adversity, whatever that looks like. And as you said earlier, it doesn't matter what that is. It could be divorce, job loss, sickness, whatever that is. And I feel like that I'm the poster child.
We talked about when you were going through your divorce, the job situation, and you sat down in your closet or somewhere in your house and you looked around at us and you said, I have so many things, but what is it all worth right now?
Yeah, it was nothing. And that's exactly what that was. It was that moment when I had lost my home to foreclosure and all of these shoes and all of these clothes were just sitting there. And I called my girlfriend Satura and I'm talking about the stuff and I had no place to put it. And she says, shut up and quit your whining and go find a group of women in transition. That's only a true friend. You know that, right? I surround myself with those women that tell me to be quiet and get up and keep it moving, right? But it was that moment where she challenged me to give to someone else. Someone else who is worse off than I am, because you're crying about stuff because you've been extremely blessed. And that is what the catalyst was for WOW Legacy and our Fall into Fabulous Empowerment Program, now in its 8th year. Can you believe it?
And before we go any further, let's just say that the application time is coming up right now. You have until July 25th to apply because the next class begins August 6th. And take us through that class. But first of all, what kind of a woman are you looking for? Because when you hear the word application, it means that I have to be somebody important to be able to connect. But is that...
And, you know, that is absolutely not the case. It's a woman who looks like you and I. It's a woman who has gone through that transition, because when we think about where we are in our state right now, in the state of COVID with this pandemic, that it's affected everybody's life in some way. Either that's financial, whether they've lost their jobs, their families are all in upheaval. And oftentimes, Monica, and you know this better than I, that whenever we go through something that is catastrophic in our lives, we become paralyzed and we can't get back up, right? And it's those types of women that we're looking for. It doesn't matter what ethnicity, what economic status you're in. It doesn't matter what career field you're in. If you have a job or you don't have a job, it's a woman who is stuck and is ready to become unstuck. That's who we're looking for. And this is a free program. Let me just say that. It's absolutely free. The only thing that you're committed to is the time and committing to the program. That's it. And all the value that we give to them is amazing.
How long is the program? How many weeks of training and what does it look like?
Yeah, it's typically a 6-month program, but now it's been reduced a little because of COVID, and now we're shortening the length. But it's typically a 6-month program, bi-weekly sessions, every 90-minute bi-weekly sessions every Thursday. And now we're shifting to a more virtual setting, doing things in a socially distanced way and virtually. So we're making sure that we're following the CDC standards and guidelines so that everyone is protected and everyone is able to experience that transition in a positive and fabulous way, which is why we call it fall into fabulous. When life falls apart, dust off your shoulders, put your big girl panties on, and fall into fabulous.
Put your stilettos on too and some red lipstick.
Oh yes, girl. Yes.
Because if you really want to know, you should never be able to, and listen to this because it may hit some people in the wrong way. I don't need to know when you're going through, because I always want to see you done.
That part.
Mm-hmm. And getting ready to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Right.
So that means that we have to help you get your hair done. That means that we have to dust you off and love up on you, because it's only through that love that you can feel like I can stand up and do it all over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
And it's a circle of influence that we surround the women with individuals that come in and facilitate the courses. And every month it's a certain transition. We're talking about health and wellness, mental health, right? And our physical health, because if our mind is not right, everything else is useless. So you've got to also have that physical body in shape and everything else. So we go through that. And some of our key sponsors are Ford Motor Company and Advent Health. They've been a part of our organization from the very beginning. So focusing on mental health and wellness is their issue. That's their mission. And so we take them through this, through financial improvement, career readiness, community service, personal development, and this all culminates with our Fall into Fabulous luncheon that we do every year. So those specific tools, I believe, are tools that will help that woman get to the next level, all because I remember how I was when my life fell apart. All of those things I needed to revamp, refocus on, and reimagine how to move forward with.
Mm-hmm. When you mentioned health, it brought me back to the day that you were on the air, Cess, and you had a stroke that could have taken you out. Let's talk about that moment.
That moment was like, it's like my breath being taken away.
Uh-huh.
Like I could not breathe. And to know that that was my only tool that I lived my life by.
Our voice.
Was our voice. And when that moment was taken away, I'm like, what's next? What's happening to me? Where am I going to go from here? So it was a moment in my life where I really had to stop and self-reflect. What's really important here? What's really important?
Mm-hmm. What did you find in your recovery time that meant the most to you, that was so important to you?
My family and friends, my ride or dies, and my family. That had I not had them, I would not have been able to make it. So I called them my posse. Like literally, they are my posse. And posses are like powerful, honey. They're there.
Word.
Yeah. And so it was because of my family and my friends who were right there helping me and not giving me a pity party. And that's what you don't want. You don't want yes men and no men in your life just to make you feel good. Not for me anyway. So I need those men and women that are going to say, okay, enough. All right, we're here for you. We understand it. We feel you, but enough. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Did you have any symptoms prior to getting sick?
Yes, the symptoms I ignored. That's the thing. I ignored all of them. I had the recurrent headaches. I had the slurred speech. I was passing out in my bedroom, and I was just thinking that it's because I'm getting up at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? I'm on the air. I'm on all the time. I'm going through a divorce. I'm simply stressed. That's all this is. I'm not going to worry about it until that moment on the air when I could not speak. And they're like cueing me, right? Mm-hmm. And so at that moment, I'm like, okay, something's going on. Something is happening because I hear it here, but it's not coming out here, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I knew then. And ironically, Monica, several months earlier, I did a story on the early warning signs of a stroke. And those signs I reported for everybody else because they're for old people. They're not for me. Mm-hmm. But little did I know that was God's way of bringing an angel in my life to say, okay, this is for you, and I need you to be aware of it. And so because of those warning signs, I went from the news desk to my newsroom and pulled up the story. And that's when I looked at check. That's that moment.
Mm. Well, our prayers were with you then, and you recovered. And I think with probably little or any repercussions. Did you have any side effects?
Yeah, no, surprisingly, by the grace of God, the only thing that I have is a little short-term memory loss.
Well,
And
that's
so
me. That could be, uh,
it. And so to know that I gained my broadcast quality voice again, like literally, I'm like, Satan, you should have had me when you had me down, because now you ain't getting me to shut up.
if you're just tuning in to One Take, thank you so much and welcome. My guest this evening is none other than the vivacious, the beautiful, the most cheerful woman I know, Miss Secily Wilson. We're talking about just life in general and when life happens to you and what you make of it. Let's segue to a day that I turned on my television and saw my sister on the Steve Harvey Family Feud show. Who knew? Who knew? You were using that as an opportunity to broaden your streams, perhaps of income, or just go to the next level. Forget about the game.
Well, I had just lost the job. And so I was out of the business and I'm thinking, oh, I saw an opportunity. When I saw an opportunity, I'm thinking, okay, this is my moment. So when they were taping in our own backyard at Universal Studios, I'm thinking, okay, this is it. We're going to get on this show. And my family, if you know any of my family, they are extremely colorful. So you think I'm bad, you should see my family. But we got on the show, and that was that moment where I realized that I knew I had to do something to get his attention, and it wasn't the word that came out of my mouth. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that was going to happen. But I had a plan prior to that. So, we have resume reels right in the business.
Yes. She put hers, well, let's just say, and we're grown people.
Yeah.
2 resume reels, and they're small.
Many size.
Put one in one side of her bra, the other one.
They were like pasties. They were like
thinking she was going to get a chance to slide that into Steve's hand. Little did she know that was not the moment for that. That was the moment that the world knew that Secily was going to fly out of her mouth with what was the question?
The P word. So the question was, name something that is bigger now than it was at the age of 16. And I instinctively just said, penis.
Penis.
I said the P word.
That is the one time that I saw the king of comedy just like lose it. He's lost it a whole lot more times after that.
Yes.
But he really, really, really lost it. And one of the things that we've done with that P word is we've used it. She used it to make an entire book. So in the last few minutes, let's talk about what that P word really means to you.
Well, I just realized at that moment that P word was a lot more impactful in my life than just that moment. That moment was just a small portion. But as I thought about it, that P word has been riddled throughout the tapestry of my life. From pain, from purpose, from perseverance, to passion, to all of those things, to pivoting, all of those P words that get me to the next level. Prayer, that was the one key tool that kept me going throughout the entire process. Process, prayer, because had I not had that prayer and that faith and that determination that, Lord, you're going to get me through this. This is not the end of my story. It's going to get better. And I just had to be faithful and know that it was going to happen. Persevere.
I got to tell you, the book is out now.
Yes. Well, it's now ready for pre-order on thececilywilson.com, thececilywilson.com. And we are expecting it to be in our hands the first or second week of August. So I'm excited. I'm actually going through the manuscript right now.
Look at that.
Yep. So I'm excited. And my pastor Eva Timms, did my foreword. So she was one of my amazing role models throughout, to really figure out how to walk through transition with grace and dignity. She did it. And so when I see her, she was my sister role that kind of kept me going and said, Secily, even though you're going through this, keep your head up, keep praying for your husband, even though you think you're going to get a divorce, keep praying for him, with dignity and grace.
And if anyone should know what to do when things fall apart, see how I did that? That's her book. our pastor, our sister friend, should know that. Yeah, Pastor Reva Timms.
Excellent.
Cecily, thank you so much. I told you we only had a short moment of time, but I also
We could all day and talk.
but I also tell people that, listen, there are usually three things that are top of mind, and we can get to all of them in one take. You can also catch this again on YouTube at Monica May Communications, and then also wowlegacygroup.com,
.org.
.org, .org, and we'll put it up. Ladies, go and fill out those applications. Cess, we love you. Thank you.
I love you more, baby, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And one take, that's all it does.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.